Hello everyone, I'm your host Thomas28 and welcome back to Society Sunlit Valley. Now as you can see, we're in the river, because I'm fishing for fish. Mostly because there are two fish we need to catch in the winter in order to actually finish the community bundles. Now it does look like though that these fishes that I need, the rainbow trout and the frosty fin, I'm guessing only spawn at night because I use my fish radar and I don't see it in the river. So I'm guessing it's because they're nighttime fish, so I have to wait until nighttime. Okay, well that's disappointing. So it looks like both of those fish that I need don't actually spawn right now. Which I'm guessing means they only spawn on a rainy day. So we're gonna have to wait for a rainy day in winter to actually finish that off. Okay, that's a little disappointing. Anyways, though, let me show you what I've been working on. So if we come back to our room here with our preserves jars, I finally was able to afford one artisan hopper filled to the brim with sparkstone. So now all I have to do is fill this barrel with our crops, and it automatically loads them in every 3 days, and then sells them. It's super good. This saves me so much time, because now I don't have to keep coming back and forth to Is this a rainy day? Have my prayers been answered? Frosty fin, perfect. Oh, but the river is frozen. Okay, that's not too bad. Parts of it are not frozen, and I can still fish in this. So I just need to get a frosty fin before it entirely freezes over. And there we go, 2 frosty fins. Perfect. Now we can turn those in, get a free trident, and now we just need a rainbow trout, which I think I moved over to that side, because if you look, when I stood over here, this counts as a river. Well, no, this is still fresh, but when I come over here, there it goes, it's a river. And I need, what is this fish called? A rainbow trout, which is not here. Oh, it might be a daytime fish in the rain? Is that it? Okay, so I'm guessing it's a day fish. But if I sleep, it might stop raining. That's not good. I did also get the star shell turtle, which is pretty useful. As you can see here, it gets you star fruit. Pretty nice. Now, I thought there was one other use for this guy, but I don't recall what I remembered. Ah, that's what it is. That's what I was thinking of. So for unlocking Botania, you need their roe in order to get this. That's an extra one. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try sleeping through the night, and hopefully it's still raining. And then we should be able to catch the rainbow trout and finish off the community bundles. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Rainbow trout are spawning, so we just have to get one, and then we're finished with the community bundle. And there we go. 2 rainbow trouts. So now we can go back to the fish tank, submit the rainbow trout, grab the fish smoker, and the fish tank is finally completed. It gives us 1 Neptunium infused hook, which gives you a 4% chance to catch relic troves and increased luck, and the fish tank trophy. So let's head back to our room and throw this guy down. And there we go. The community bundle is completed. Well, the community center is completed. Rebuilder, and it gives us 1 double-age dewy star worth $43,000. It has no uses, so we're just going to sell it. Let me go ahead and make some room here. I can throw the fish smoker downstairs. We can sell all the fish. But we're officially done with the community bundle, and with that, I believe the witch has something for us. So if we take a look here at the witch, we should be able to buy something, and there we go, the Ribbit Hut. Creates a hut in a 3x3 space centered around it. Ribbits will collect crops at 7 AM every morning. Uses the skills of the player that places it. Oh, we could also buy the petal apothecaries now. Huh, I guess I should have checked if there was anything else that got added, but I don't think there is. And then there's just a bunch of other Iridium Clock, my god. $1 billion. Well, we just need the Ribbit Hut, which we buy with our star fruit. Which Ribbit Hut for $32,000, and I think that finishes off the Villagers quest line. So we get the Sorcerer Ribbit and the Nitwit Ribbit spawn eggs. I wonder what these do. Let's go ahead and place these guys in this room over here. Ribbits. Not sure what they do. I think you can trade with them. Because if you do Ribbit and do, let's see, Ribbit Hut block, Ribbit. I could have swore there was a way to trade with these guys. Yeah, here we go. Fisherman, Gardener, Merchant, Sorcerer. Ribbit, Fisher. Huh, looks like you can only trade with the Fisher Ribbit. Wonder what's the point of this guy then? They are quite cute though. Anyways, now we have the Ribbit Hut and we can use this. So now the range is a 3x3. Oh no, the hut is a 3x3x3. The area is 15 by 3 by 15. 15 by 3 by 15. So if we go off the corner here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we break this, not enough room. We need to break a 3x3. We have a Ribbit Hut. Quite cute. Now, how do they actually use this, though? You can access its inventory from the door block. It houses ribbits. So, there's no actual, ribbits that come out other than those ones? And then they're going to store it in here. Cool. Now, these crops do grow very, very slowly, so it's not that amazing. But hey, it's another thing I don't have to do now. We've completely outsourced the work. So, now that we're done with that, we can go back to some magical farming. We have 4 ancient fruit seeds that we're now going to transform into our magic fruit. And actually, I forgot to check if this was required. No, you just throw that into you just throw ancient fruit into the mana pool and it automatically converts it. The thing I was questioning was this thing down here. I crafted the alchemy catalyst. I just wasn't sure if that was actually used in this ritual, but if we take a look at the alchemy catalyst, it should show us what exactly it is needed for. Blaze Rod into Netherwart, books into that. And not a lot of super useful stuff. Yeah, nothing too super useful for the alchemy catalyst. I guess I was thinking of other mod packs where the alchemy catalyst does have very powerful upgrades. This pack doesn't have it. It's mostly for the utility. Anyway though, now we have the mana fruit seeds, which is fertile year-round. So we're going to go ahead and plant them over here, along with our iridium sprinkler, just to save the space. We have a ton of the flowers now, so I'm not too concerned about having to regrow them over and over again. If we need more, I'll plant them as needed. And I am getting more and more hyper-fertilized farmland, so it goes even faster. Now let's see, they take 7 days to grow. The fertilized farmland is going to knock off 3 days, so we have a 4-day turnaround time. But for these to grow, we need mana. They're filled with mana during growth using a mana spreader and wither away when they don't have enough mana to grow. So let's take a look. Mana spreader. Mana spreader. So the mana spreader is this guy. But we can use the mana sprinkler because it also sends mana. Keeps farmland moist. And all this cost is mana steel, a mana pump. Okay, that's very easy. We should be able to craft this. Because we just need a gold sprinkler, which will take some blocks of gold. Gold sprinkler. Then we just need a mana pump, which will take a bucket. Mana pump. And gold. Oh, then combine this. Mana sprinkler. And if that's the... Oh man, I shouldn't have planted these right here then, huh? Because now I can't take them out. Okay, that's fine. Because this has a range of 5 by 5. 1, 2... Yeah, so actually, if we just put it right here... Or actually, 1, 2... Right here. Perfect. And then I'll move it later. So for now, this guy will keep these guys watered, but they're going to need mana. So we're going to need to craft ourselves another mana pool. Throw this guy... Oh, actually, we're going to need a mana spreader as well. I'm out of copper. I hate when it tells me I'm out of copper. I have tons of copper, it's just in block form. Mana spreader. Then we're going to need some petals. Let's go ahead and use some of these. Let me grab my bag. Where's my bag at? There it is. Throw these in here. We have the most... why do I have so many purple? Grab those. So now we can go ahead and make the mana spreader. And I just need my wand. So now, we take this guy, put it there, right click, there. You go on top. Then I need my mana tablet, which is somewhere. Where did I leave it? Oh, it's over here. There we go, mana tablet. Why are you light blue? Turn off my magnet. Set this guy to take out. And there we go. Mana sprinkler is full. Oh, and they even have a neat little animation to show that they're getting the mana. Okay, and now that we have a little bit of mana in there, we can take the Black Lotus and cover your ears for this part. To get a good amount of mana in there. Okay, so now every 4 days we can get some mana fruit. Oh, that's annoying. I'm gonna have to recollect this. Oh, but that's fine. This thing is really annoying. Does it need mana all the time? Because that noise is gonna get very old very fast. Now, while we wait for the mana fruit to grow, I did want to do a quick little sidebar in the Skull Cavern, because I was testing some stuff with Fortune. Now, originally my thought was, oh, stuff like Iridium is affected by Fortune, but the JEI tooltip only says 1 to 2. So I thought, Fortune isn't that useful because it only changes it from 1 to 2 Iridium. That is clearly not the case. So, if you go ahead and craft yourselves an Electrum Pickaxe, which has Fortune 3, and you combine that with your mining skill, which, can essentially go all the way up. I'm trying to talk here, buddy. Which can essentially go all the way up to 4, 5, and 6. So you're essentially at Fortune 9. You get a massive amount of ores from anything. So we could take a look here with this gold ore. We take a look. We have no gold in here. We mine a single gold. We're at 6. And that's just using Fortune 3 plus 5. I mean, Fortune 3 from the pickaxe plus 2 from my mining skill. So I'm actually saving way more time than if I did this the other way. Now, of course, that does mean using the Create Grinding Stone. Is that what it's called, the Grinding Stone? No, the Crushing Wheel. Using the Crushing Wheel is automatic. It's just not nearly as effective. And with how much... Oh, it's the Scarab guy. Don't like that guy. But since I mostly just need Iridium right now... Oh, I think I saw some. I did not. Since I mostly just need Iridium, it doesn't really matter anyway, because you can't throw Iridium into the Crushing Wheel. Okay, so they seem to be growing nicely, 5 of 7. It's just hard to tell how much mana they actually consume. Because I thought this mana pool had like a quarter, now it's at like less than, or maybe 10%. So it's hard to tell how much mana this actually consumes. Which likely necessitates a sustainable form of mana production. Okay, it looks like it stopped. So I added more mana with the Black Lotuses. So it looks like it does actually stop consuming. So I'm guessing the mana sprinkler has an internal buffer of mana that's very big. But I can't actually, you can't view it, which is a little annoying. But I'm guessing with how much mana I put in, it's maybe equal to a mana pool itself? Or maybe like half a mana pool? It's hard to say. This is one of the things that I don't like about Botania. Botania already doesn't just give you a hard number, which is why it's funny. I'm pretty sure there's mods out there that just add numbers to Botania. But you could have at least added a number or a bar to the mana sprinkler just to make it easier. But it does look like the mana fruit has had their fill, so maybe they just have to get like filled with mana every day. And the mana sprinkler has an internal buffer to store a bunch. Anyways, I can see in our future we're going to be working towards the terrestrial agglomeration plate, as that's always needed in order to get Terra Steel, so let's start crafting some basic runes. Let's start with the Rune of Water. So to make this, we're going to need a little bit of mana, Deluxe Crabtrap Bait, Neptunium, Mana Powder, Mana Steel, and a fish. So really not that difficult. I am really low on this Deluxe Crabtrap Bait, since I never like actually been, I've never been producing it. So I'm very low on that, but we should have a good amount of everything else. Let me go ahead and grab this guy, because we're going to need to put mana in this. So we'll put you right here. Then let's make a mana spreader. which is going to necessitate some of these flowers. Oh, we're going to need some living wood, as it looks like I'm all out, so let me make some more of that first. Okay, so now I think I have everything. Mana spreader, where's my wand? Where'd my wand go? Oh, it's in my inventory. You right there. You to this. Oh no. You to that. You to this. Facing the right way? Yes. Living rock, crabtrap bait, fish, neptunium, monosteel, redstone dust. Redstone dust gonna go in here. That's not what I wanted. Let me try that again. Redstone dust into here to make mana powder. So now mana powder, mana steel, crabtrap bait, fish, neptunium makes a rune of water. Now we add in living rock and hit it with the wand to get our first advancement in 2 runes of water. Now usually these don't get used up, but there are cases, so we're going to have to make more of these. And now for the rune of earth, we're going to need ancient fruit, fine wool, mana steel, mana powder, and some cheese. I don't think I have any cheese. Cheese. Yeah, no cheese. We should have 1 ancient fruit. And we're going to have to get some cheese. So let's go milk some animals and make some cheese real quick. Go upstairs with all of our milk, throw these into the presses. The little ones cannot be used, but the big ones are going to make our cheese wheels. Now I think it said any cheese, right? Yes, any cheese. Just has to be big. And some fine wool, which I did collect. In fact, I was going to say I might have some down here, but I actually moved it. But I might have some more. I do. More fine wool. But just to make the agglomeration plate, we just need the 1, so it's not too important. So tomorrow we'll have the cheese and can make this one. Rune of mana is going to take the mana fruit, so we're going to have to wait until the fruit is done. The rune of air takes a soul bead and a breeze rod and a bone block. I should have bone blocks though. Bone block. I do have bone block. See, I can put away all this fish and the glowstone. Breeze rod, I think I have. Breeze. I know I slayed some breezes, but I haven't seen too many of them. Alright, so let's see here. I bought this map from the trader because we need breezes, and breezes spawn in trial chambers. Luckily it wasn't too expensive, and I had just enough fire geodes to afford this, but it looks like it's pretty far away. Leaving the skull cavern is pretty easy though. I just need to find this thing and slay a couple breezes so we can actually craft this rune. And I don't think we'll need too many, so we have looting, so we should be able to get a couple. And that's all we need to craft a couple runes. And then apparently I can also get it from some fish, so I might set that up to get more breeze rods in the future. I guess it just depends on how much runes of air we're going to actually end up needing. Now it looks like it's over here, so I'm just going to have to find a way down. Okay, that was pretty easy. And we're just going to have to keep going down until I get access to the trial chamber. Oh, there we go, a breeze. Perfect. I don't see the trial chamber though, but I will take a breeze. I kind of forgot that they spawn in this area, mostly because I haven't been in the ice biome for a long time. I'm still interested in the trial chamber though, and I think that's it over here. I'm not actually sure what that is. Oh, there's another breeze. Okay, after this one, we should be good to go then. Didn't even have to find the trial chambers. Lots of diamonds in here though, mostly because I have not been mining in this area of the skull cavern, so it's all like fresh. I don't really need too many diamonds these days though, mostly iridium. But now that we got a couple of breeze rods, wait, just 2? Okay, look, I'm gonna stay to find just a couple more breezes and then I'll leave. Alright, that one gave me 0. Man, why is their drop rate so low? I have levels in looting, so it should not be 0. But according to the minimap, I am very near to the trial chamber, so I guess that should like pay itself off. Oh, here we go. The trial chamber. And poison spiders, I hate those. And ooh, chest. With somewhat mediocre stuff. Not everything's mediocre though. Luckily our damage reduction is very high, but there's the ones that freeze me. Okay, that's not good. Luckily I do have a plan. I have so much adventurer gear that as I take more and more damage, we're gonna be storing it in our body, and it's gonna release and hopefully just like one-tap everything. Huh, they really be spawning anything in these trials these days, huh? Now, I'm guessing these keys are used here? Oh, they are. Cool. And they drop breeze rods. Perfect. Okay, so I think this is the last room. Oh, I've never actually seen the Illusioner before. Interesting. Wonder why they spawn in here. Okay, this one summons pillagers and these guys. And I'm... Okay, that's a lot of them. How do I trigger... Oh, there's buttons for these. Those seem kind of useless. But I will take all the potions later. Yeah, these are just regular pillagers. If they were Vindicators, I'd feel a little more... What's the word? Scared. But... Pillagers are usually pretty easy to take down. And was that it? I guess it is. Okay, let me grab that. And there's nothing else. Ooh, there's one more up here. Grab this, and I think that's everything. And potions, if I want them. They're all negative potions, though, so I don't really care. But I think that's everything. There's nothing else in here to explore, from what it looks like. That's the entire trial chamber. No breezes, though, but I think we got... Okay, we got 19 breeze rods, though, which is pretty solid, even though we didn't fight many breezes. So now I leveled up. We have +2 range damage, one more level here, and we'll finish off the mastery for adventuring. And let's clear out my inventory. This is way too full of junk. So now at the trader, I believe we can trade these trial keys. Oh, you need ominous trial keys for that. How do you get ominous trial key? No, you could just sell these. Where do you get ominous keys, though? So now the mana fruit is done. Perfect. 8 mana fruit. Now we can actually craft... We already did the Rune of Water. Oh, but I don't want to break this. I don't have a choice. I must complete the quest. Grab that. Finish the quest. There we go. Put it back. Yeah, it must have a big internal buffer, because now it's refilling with mana since I broke it. Anyways, though, how much mana do we have in here? Where's my wand? My blind. There it is. Okay, half a mana pool. Good enough to do these. So, Rune of Earth. Cheese, Ancient Fruit, Fine Wool, Mana Steel, Mana Powder. Mana Powder, Ancient Fruit, Fine Wool, Mana Steel, Cheese Wheel. Then hit it with the Living Rock and Wand of the Forest. Oh, my bad. I forgot. I need to turn this off. And there we go. Rune of the Earth. So now Rune of Mana is a 5 Mana Fruit and a Mana Pearl. Mana Pearl. And Mana Fruit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And add the Living Rock. And actually, I could also finish this one to get the Potency Lens, and this one to get more Potency Lenses, because now I can add this to there, and that's going to make this fill up faster. Add this, hit it with that. Mana Lens. You only get one, Magic Lens. Rune of Mana, which is a bit low. Oh, I forgot about the Soul Bead. This one's pretty easy though. You could just wash Soul Sand and you have a 5% chance. But the Rune of Fire is just Jade, Earth, and Fire Quartz, which is pretty simple. Jade, Earth, Wind and Fire, and Fire Quartz. Grab this. 1, 2, 3. Mana Powder and Mana Steel. And yeah, it fills up even faster. So now add the rock, one to the forest to get our runes of fire. Now we just need the rune of air, which will take the soul bead, which I can get from soul sand. So I'll be back in a second. And here we go, soul sand, everywhere. Also ghosts. I think those also drop the item I want. So let's see if we can get one. We did, nice, soul bead. Ooh, they spawn in large numbers too. See if we can get a couple of these here. Huh. Spooky. Huh, it's quite dark in the factory. Since all the glass is covered in snow. There we go, soul beads, a little bit of gold. Gold is nice. Interesting. You can duplicate gold with Botania, so technically we can make renewable gold. And don't worry about these doohickeys over here, that's going to be for a later video. I'm figuring out how to brew the most expensive wine in Society Sunlit Valley. It's just going to take, seems like it's going to take a lot of steps, so I'm trying to figure out how to like produce it first, and then I can figure out how to actually build the factory for it. So, we're going to need soul bead, this, living rock. So, soul bead, bone, oh, is it working? Yes. Mana powder, mana steel, breeze rod. I did something wrong, didn't I? Oh, it's a bone block and not a bone. I thought one of them had bones though. Bone block. So reset this. Soul bead, bone block, mana powder, mana steel, breeze rod. And I didn't fully reset it because there's 2 soul beads in here. Soul bead, bone block, mana powder, mana steel, breeze. There we go. Hit it with the living rock, and I gotta turn off my backpack, the magnet, there we go. To get rune of air. Then we already had rune of fire, right? Mana, fire, earth. And what am I missing? Water? Wait, where's the water rune? Did I put it in here? Oh, there we go. Water. Perfect. Huh, what quest did I complete? Prismatic farming. Oh, the trial chambers. Drinking an ominous bottle will give you better drops for fighting stronger. Oh! So that's what you can do. Interesting. Was not aware of that. So I can make it more difficult. Although it was pretty easy with just diamond gear. So if I upgrade to iridium, it should be even easier. Anyways, though. Now that we have all the runes, we can go ahead and craft the terrestrial agglomeration plate, which will take a block of mana steel and some blocks of lapis lazuli. So where's my mana steel? Mana steel. We need some lapis. And now we can make the terrestrial agglomeration plate. Now, this is a multi-block structure, so I believe we also need living rock and more lapis for this. Lapis. I don't quite remember how to build it, but I do recall, I think it's 5 and 4, and it takes a lot of mana. So we're going to go ahead and put this guy over here. This is a fine spot for it. And if I remember correctly, you have to do this pattern with lapis. Living rock here, you on top, and that should be how it's built. Let me double check that in our Lexica Botania. Terrestrial terrasteel. That guy, and I think I built it wrong. Oh, we can visualize it. Okay, so I got it backwards. Gotcha. Grab this. So we actually have to swap the positions of these. And there we go. Wait, it's no blue in the middle, right? No, okay. Perfect. And this does eat the rune. Now we need to power it with sparks, which is pretty easy. Spark. I thought spark, oh, I don't have blaze powder. Okay, we do have blaze powder, perfect. So I believe you're gonna need, you only need 2 to start this, I believe. You put 1 here, And then let's make ourselves some more mana pools. For now, we'll just do one. We can upgrade this later. You put that here. So now if we take our Black Lotus, and we are going to need a little bit of power just to jumpstart this. So where is my mana tablet? Grab this. Yep, mana to mana tablet. Take a little bit out. Okay, pick it up. Throw it in there. So now there's going to be a little bit. And I hate how you always have to do this. Why can't you just throw the Black Lotuses immediately into it? You have to have just a little bit of mana in there that kind of acts like an acid to melt it. Okay, so now we have a quarter of a mana pool. And it gives you 8 sparks for free. Nice. But now to make the Terra Steel, you need half of a mana pool's worth of mana to make a single ingot. So it's pretty expensive. Then later on, actually, I don't even think it's a later on thing. I think I can actually just make a couple more of these right now. And then we could fill these up later, because now I can just add more sparks. Because I believe how it should work is that the agglomeration plate has a spark. It's going to pull from all 4 of these. But for now we just need more mana, because we don't have much, if at all. We're actually pretty low on mana. This one has... no, there's half a mana pool in there, and I don't need to make any more yet. This one has a little less than a quarter. This one's almost done, down to 0. I know what to do. What we're gonna do is make the Arcana? Yes, the Rosa Arcana. We just need to... oh, but I'm out of runes of mana. We need more mana fruit. Which is gonna take another 7 days. Well, not 7 days, another 4 days. And in that 4 days, we'll get more Black Lotuses. Okay, well, we need to set up the Rosa Arcana anyway, but I guess we'll be able to craft this first. So we're just gonna do a time skip here. Oh boy, it's working. The Ribbit Hut. They're harvesting the ginger. Okay, it's actually pretty cool. I was wondering how it works. I thought I had to, like, put the ribbit guy inside of it, but not the case. So it looks like at around 7 o'clock they get to work, and they harvest everything in a very big range. So to fill out the entire farm, as you can see here, we would just need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ribbit huts. Pretty affordable too. They're not that expensive. And since they use my skills, they also get me the pine tar. Nice. Oh, I wonder, since they use your skills, you also benefit from getting the double crops as well. Huh, I didn't even think about that. That's very handy. But I'm gonna have to manually harvest the rest of these. Not gonna take too long, but it is gonna take a little bit of time. It's wonderful. The ribbit huts are all placed. Now I just need to actually, fill out the rest of the farm with iridium sprinklers. And the farm will have reached its full potential, fully automatic. Well, not fully automatic. I still have to replace the entire crop like every season, but other than that, it's pretty good. And I was thinking of how to automate planting the crops, and I could probably do it with a gantry and deployers underneath the farm that place the seeds from underneath, so I can swap it every season. And I think that's what I'll do, because I end up wasting like an entire day, which is like 10 minutes of just placing everything down. But for now, it's pretty good. And I think what I'll eventually end up doing is keep adding more ancient fruits, because we can make a lot of money like that. Otherwise though, our pickling is very effective. So I realized the strategy with the pickling cans is put the iridium crops in here because they retain their iridium value. As you can see here, gold to iridium is like $50, so a stack of these is $18,000, which I think is more than, the preserves. This one is just way slower, but you can automate it though, which is pretty nice. Anyways though, where's my lunchbox? There it is. We should be able to have just enough mana from these 16 black lotuses to finish this, and I'll swap this around. And take a look here. Let's see. That's about a quarter, that's a little bit, that's a little bit. Okay, it's not quite there, but this mana pool has more than enough mana, so let me siphon, that's not how you pronounce the word. Let me siphon the mana out of this pool, push it into this one, and then we can craft ourselves some Terra Steel. So let's see, Terra Steel. To make this, we'll take half a pool of mana, Botanical Tribute, Mana Fruit, Mana Diamond, and Mana Pearl. So unlike most other mod packs, you don't actually need Mana Steel for this, just Mana Fruit, Mana Pearl, Mana Diamond. We're going to need the Botanical Tribute. And I think that's it, right? 2, 3. I did not mean to open that. Terra Steel, 1, 2, 3, 4. Half of mana, and that's it. Okay, so that's drained out. So let's go ahead and swap this to push. Okay, so once that's full, we should be able to craft our first piece of Terra Steel. And it was funny, so I looked at the Endoflame. They made the Endoflame actually very expensive in this mod pack, as it takes an Overgrowth Seed and Rune of Mana, and the Overgrowth Seed can be purchased for $250,000. Or you can take Wise Oaks and turn it into that. I don't know why they made it so expensive. Like, sure, it's the easiest to use, but it's very inefficient, so why make it that expensive? Okay, that's all done. Half a mana. Okay, so we're all set. So, if I remember correctly, and let's consult the Lexica Botanica here. Here we go. After it's set up and ready to receive mana, tossing one of each item, you can see it references the Mana Steel Ingot, will cause the infusion to begin. Okay, so actually, I'm gonna use an open crate here. Open crate. Open crate. Why it's made from living wood planks, I'm not quite sure. It's just a hole with a, it's a hole with a box in it. It's a box with a hole in it. And let me go ahead and place this up here. Grab this. 2, 3. There we go. That way I don't have to like try and land it on the plate. I could just, oh, but I can't push them inside. Okay. Then I need a hopper. There we go. Hopper. Throw that in there. Hopper there. Okay, so now I could just place these in here and they'll drop on top. And it's working. Perfect. So now the sparks are transferring all the mana is being consumed, and the Terra Steel Ingot is produced. Advancement made. Dancer in the Dark. Terra Steel Ingot worth $44,000. And since I have the Adventurer bonus, you can actually sell these for $64,000. That's not worth it, right? 64, Botanical Tribute, 66. Okay, it's not really worth it since it costs a lot of money. 4, 8, 16. Yeah, that's not worth it, right? Like, it's the same amount? I think that's like almost the exact same amount you put into it. Anyways, though, Terra Steel Ingot. Terra Steel is the beginning of the most powerful items botanical magic has to offer, and we get a rebate of 1 Botanical Tribute back, and it unlocks a bunch of stuff. The Mana Clock is a machine that uses mana from the Mana Spreader to alter time around it. It reduces the overall time of aging casks and ancient casks, which is really nice, makes them go faster. The Mana Milker milks animals using mana. Terra Steel Armor is pretty solid. Terra Steel Tools are also pretty solid. I might craft these because they're going to be pretty useful, I think. I mostly just like the Terra Blade for the ranged attack. But then next it wants us to make the gateway to Alfheim and then fight the Guardian of Gaia. Not that crazy, I've done it many times, but hey, it's something we gotta do next. But now that we have access to this, is there anything we needed to craft specifically, like that I couldn't craft before? Huh, not really. There's not too much I need there's not too much I need Terra Steel for. It's mostly gonna be for the armor and the tools, because then I can finish out this little quest line here. There's no reward for doing it, but hey, it's like a completionist thing. But I do like the armor. But I think fighting the Guardian of Gaia is going to be really easy thanks to all the extra bonuses we have from outside of the Botania mod pack. Let me say that again. I think fighting the Guardian of Gaia is going to be pretty easy because of all the extra stuff that this mod pack has. Usually the fight isn't too difficult if you only have Botania, if you're prepared. The upgraded fight is a bit difficult and takes more preparation, but with all of the bonus damage and damage reduction that we have through this mod pack, I don't think it'll be that difficult. Anyways though, we've accomplished most of everything I wanted to this episode, as I wanted to get all the way up to Terra Steel and maybe do a little bit extra, but the time it took to get the Breezes and then finish out the trial chamber kinda took a lot more time than I expected, so we're going to be ending the episode here. Now, a couple caveats, well not caveats, a couple extra stuff with Botania. We do have access to magical animals, but I find it pretty funny because it only adds two, the Galoraptor and the Tribal. And when you take a look at the Tribal, you milk it for tribal milk, and it's worth more than the other milks, but not by much. So you have to go through a lot of effort just to make a little bit more money with milk, when you could just have a bunch more cows and you don't have to take the time to craft it, but I guess it is a completionist thing. Now, next episode, we should have enough mana fruit available in order to make ourselves the Rosa Arcana over here, which is going to be the main way we generate mana, because we have 211 levels, so that should be enough to pretty much power anything we need for mana. Like, I believe 211 levels is enough to make like a stack of Terra Steel, so having a full set of Terra Steel is going to be pretty easy, except for the pearls. I'm going to need a lot more pearls, but other than that, we're pretty solid. We're going to finish off Botania, fight the Guardian of Gaia, maybe do a little bit of the advanced fight to get the bonus gear, but then we're going to be pretty much done with magical farming, and thanks to finishing the community center, we can fully automate our crop farms, which means we can finally automate the most expensive products in Society Sunlit Valley. But as always, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you all next time.